Caden Formaster here and Mark Musgrave.
The voice, you know.
Whew. Mark, we were rushing to get
It has been a very busy
my
afternoon for
goodness.
sure. Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, high school football's coming up. And with high school football coming up this Friday, we are in, I wouldn't necessarily call it scramble mode. That's not necessarily what it is. Trust me, we've done our planning. But just making sure to check off all the boxes. Is this okay? Do we have this? Do we have this? There's a lot of double and triple checking that goes on with these kinds of things. And we are in full double and triple check mode right now.
Right.
And then, of course, along with all of our normal things that we do at work every single day.
Yeah.
So it's been a busy day today. But you know what? We're happy to hop on and talk a little bit of sports, wind down a little bit here, and chat a little bit about some sports today.
Yeah, there's some Raiders stuff that I want to talk to you guys about here in a little bit. Not right now, but my goodness, you've got Josh Jacobs and the Raiders possibly parting ways. I don't think it'll happen, but I'm seeing some things that, if you're a Josh Jacobs fan and a Raiders fan, that might have you a little concerned. Remember ex-Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs? He gets his sentence. We'll talk about that a little bit. If it's too heavy, too light. Yeah, so there's some stuff going on. Outside of Raiders news, you've got Eric Bieniemy, the new offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders. He went from Kansas City to Washington, and he's being a little hard on his players, according to some of the wide receivers. We'll get into that a little bit as well.
Oh, boo-hoo.
That's what I say.
We'll talk about it. We are also going to be having the Canyon Warriors Volleyball team here in studio with us, so make sure to stay tuned in for that. That's coming up around 5:30.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit before. We'll see. Whenever they get here, we'll have them hop in. So they'll be here in the second hour of the show. And that's pretty much what we got going on for the show today.
Yeah.
More or less.
We'll find some other stuff.
Yeah, we'll have other things, of course, to talk about, but that's kind of the main gist of it. So thanks for joining us here on From the Bleachers. Now, before we really get into it, I want to remind our listeners that this Saturday, August 12th, show up to Handel's Ice Cream 3 to 5. We're going to be there broadcasting live. You can actually come anytime from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And make some donations to help fill the bus with Findlay Subaru. If you do, you are going to receive a free scoop of ice cream at Handel's. So if you just want free ice cream, make a donation to go along with it. There you go.
Yeah.
You might as well. It's basically a trade. Give them something as a donation, and they give you ice cream.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. Again, that's going on at Handel's Ice Cream over on North Bluff. We'll be there from 3 to 5. You can go over from 1 to 5. Also, by the way, there's going to be some prize drawings as well. Someone's going to receive a free year's worth of ice cream from Handel's. They're also doing multiple giveaways for teachers to win an ice cream party for their classrooms and for students to win ice cream parties for their classrooms. So if you're a teacher or student, then that's definitely the place to show up to.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that idea. And how cool would that be for a student if their teacher won the ice cream party? You go to class and they have all this ice cream out, and it's good ice cream.
Oh, yeah. And it is good ice cream.
Absolutely.
Really good ice cream. So there you go. Make sure to participate with that. So we have, of course, all of our links already out for Friday. So if you want to get a jump start on the game, go head over to thefansportsnetwork.com or head on over to our YouTube page where you can bookmark all those.
And let's run down that schedule since we're talking about it, if you've got that handy there, Caden, because I can tell you right now, nobody's covering more local sports here in Region 9 than we are.
No, not at all. So as far as coverage goes, we have not 1, not 2, not 3. We'll have 4 games that we're going to be covering.
Right.
So game number 1 is going to be Desert Hills and Brighton. Number 2, Morgan and Crimson Cliffs. Game number 3, Logan and Pineview. And then we are also, this one's kind of cool, we're going to be covering a game on the road as well with Hurricane and Mountain Crest.
Yeah.
So lots of great coverage all this week. 4 games. You can find those all over on thefansportsnetwork.com. 3 of those will be on our YouTube. And that 4th one being the Hurricane Mountain Crest game. That one's actually going to be covered by our friends up in Cache Valley.
Right.
But we will have the link to it on our website.
Yeah.
So if you just want an easy home for it, we have all of those links that'll be posted over there on the website.
That's what I love about having sister stations up in Cache Valley that we can share each other's games and just add extra content for all of us down here in Region 9. Because it's going to be tough for everybody to go up to Logan. Because who's playing in that game?
Hurricane Mountain Crest game?
Hurricane Mountain Crest. I mean, that's a long drive, and there's going to be some Hurricane fans that would love to pick up our coverage of that game up there.
Yeah.
And again, so easy to go and watch all of these games all in one hub, the Fan Sports Network. So dang cool. And we have such great plans for all of our football listeners, viewers, all year long. We were just talking about this, going over in our, talking about it here in the studio when Devin Dixon was in here as well. And here's what's going to happen on a Friday. You're going to be started off like every weekday morning, 7 to 9 with the drive with Devin Dixon. Okay.
Yep.
There's 2 hours. And then later on that Friday, from 4 to 6, you and I from the Bleachers, and we'll be talking heavy high school football that day.
Yep.
And then right after our show, from like 6 to 6:40, 6:45, right in there somewhere, we're going to have a pregame studio show that they're going to be talking about every single high school football game as we get ready to do play-by-play and our broadcasts pretty much at every single region game. Now, this is when region starts as well.
Yeah.
We're going to be on air from 7 to 9 in the morning, and then from like 4 to possibly 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
With our coverage.
You can. What's that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
7 hours of local coverage starting at 4. Really, it turns into about 9 hours when you factor in the morning show. So,
right,
so
exactly.
we're talking, well, we'll give us the benefit of the doubt and we'll say 8.5 hours of local content on game day.
Yeah. There's only one place to be.
Yeah.
And that's the Fan Sports Network.
Absolutely.
If you can't get to the stadiums, just make sure you get to the Fan Sports Network. And even if you are at the stadiums, there's
download
not a
the
better
app and listen on the app.
Well, even if you go to our website,
yeah,
we're going to have all the games. You can sit there and keep track of the Dixie Cedar game or the Pineview Snow Canyon game or the Desert Hills Crimson game. You'll know the scores.
Do you know how many times last year I would see people out there in the crowd when we'd be calling a game or whatever? And you'd see people on their phone being like, "Oh, I'm watching you guys across town too," and it'd be like, "Yeah, that's awesome. That's what we're here for."
Yeah, that's what we want. We want just one place where everybody can go. We wanted to simplify this when we were putting all this together. We wanted it to be simple and user friendly. I think we've done that. I think we've accomplished that feat because again, all you have to do is go to the Fan Sports Network, to our website, and all the games are just right there.
Yeah.
And you can watch them. It's not just getting a tweet score. And the last update you got was 12 minutes ago. I mean, we're going to have all of the games live on the Fan Sports Network. You can get all your updates as it happens.
So if you are watching, for those people that are watching on YouTube, and if you're not, you could hop over to YouTube and follow along with what I'm about to do here. So over on our YouTube page right now, you can see on the screen what it looks like on the homepage right now. Of course, we have our Fill the Bus and whatnot. But if you go to the homepage, if you just scroll down the homepage, you're going to see Region 9 football, August 11th. We already have it posted. And when you do, all the games
So,
right there
so
in one
easy.
page. I am waiting on the link for the Hurricane game because, again, I have no control over that. Those are the people up in Cache Valley. Once that gets in, we'll put that on the page too. But you can watch every single game with one click. It's all right there on that page. Every single game. You could turn all of them on and just scroll up and down.
Yeah.
And watch them all if you really wanted to. So it's kind of cool. It's really kind of a fun, cool way to just keep updated, keep track of everything going on right now in Region 9 football. So, hey, Mark, I have something cool here to share with you.
Okay.
There is this group called Slinging the Pill Media. Okay.
Okay.
They cover high school football in Utah. Well, according to them and their experts, Crimson Cliffs has the best defense as they're power ranking their defenses in week 1 in the entire state. And I'm not talking 4A, I'm talking the entire state.
Really?
Crimson Cliffs comes in at number 1, American Fork number 2, Skyridge 3, Corner Canyon 4, South Summit is 5. The next, I'm looking through here, there are some 4A teams there. Desert Hills does come in at 11. And outside of that, I only have the top 15 here. But in the top 15, those are the 2 Region 9 schools. Crimson Cliffs is on top.
Wow. That's pretty impressive as far as, I mean, we know they haven't played a game yet, but, you know, I would rather be projected number 1 than out of the top 15.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, now that you have to go out and prove it.
No, but you know, and there's some good schools in there. And every school I'm looking at, I'm like, yeah, every single one of these teams they're good football programs. Like, I mean, the smallest school in here is 2A Beaver. And Beaver, for whatever reason, for football, they just have some beasts.
Oh, they
are a very good program when it comes to 2A.
It's all the cheese they eat.
That's what it is. It's all the cheese.
Oh, they're just meat
Throw
and
back
cheese.
those cheese
That's
curds.
all they eat is meat and cheese.
Yeah.
Up in Beaver.
They smell like meat and cheese. They don't smell like Santa.
Meat and cheese smell like
You smell like beef and cheese. You don't smell like Santa.
cheese.
That's a quote from Elf. If you
It
didn't
is.
know.
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely it is.
making fun of kids from Beaver. I'm just quoting a movie. But anyways, yeah, they are pretty highly ranked. They're top 10. They made 10 for a 2A school. That's pretty impressive. So
Yeah,
congrats.
it really is.
And I consider Beaver a Southern Utah school. They kind of cut off. When I think of Southern Utah schools, I'm like, where does our radio signal reach?
Right.
It reaches Beaver. So
It does.
you know what?
Yeah.
I'm counting Beaver. You are one of our Southern Utah schools. Congrats on making the top 10 for defenses. That is really impressive. But as far as the top 10 goes, Provo is in there. And we have Ridgeline, Park City. Some of these that are now 4A schools are definitely up there. So we got to keep an eye on some of those, right? Those are some schools that we're going to be seeing this year later in the playoffs. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, with Crimson Cliffs being number 1 on the defensive side of the ball, that's going to pull a little pressure on their defensive coordinator as well, to follow up on that number 1 ranking. I mean, that's pretty cool, I have to say. But I wonder if as a coach, you would prefer that not be the case. I think when it comes to football coaches, especially the ones around here anyways, they want to be low key. They want to be able to coach and try to get a chip on the shoulder pads of these football players. They don't want to come out and you know, praise them and, hey, you're number 1, you're ranked number. They want to say, you know what? They ranked you number 6 in the region. Let's go out and show them. I mean, that's how football, they don't want those number 1 rankings. They really don't. They just want to prove it on the field.
And I'm not going to say who did this, but I will tell you this, that when we do our preseason rankings and things like that, there will be some coaches that they rank their crews a little harder than maybe they would their opponents. Because it's like, you know what? Let's give our team some fuel. I'm not going to rank us number 1. I'm going to rank us number 4.
Yeah.
Because if we come in a little lower, you know what that means? We got to go prove something.
Yeah.
And I like that mentality. I really do. I like the mentality of, let's say we got to prove something. I don't love going into something thinking you're going to be number 1, because I've seen way too many times in sports, in any sport, where the team that thinks they should go out and win that game, they don't win the game. You know? There are definitely times where they do, and it can be a complete blowout. But I've seen many times where confidence becomes overconfidence.
Yeah.
And it becomes complacency and it becomes laziness. And the next thing you know, you're down by 3 scores in the third quarter.
Well, as of right now, since we're going over some rankings, Des News has a top 5 for 4A, and it goes as follows. Number 5, Park City, coming in at number 5. Number 4, Stansbury Stallions, coming in at number 4. Number 3, Ridgeline Riverhawks, coming in at number 3. You're probably like, where's the Region 9 schools? Right here. Number 2, Desert Hills Thunder. Number 1, Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. So they're holding the number 1 spot overall as well.
That's
not just
good.
on the defensive side of the ball, but overall. And I'm really curious to see how that plays out. I mean, they've got one of 2 returning quarterbacks, Cedar City with the other one.
Yeah.
So that will pay dividends. I really believe that. Steele Barbin, heck of an athlete, good quarterback. And the fact that he has all that varsity experience from last year, that will pay dividends this year for the Mustangs. And you got to think that when you have a returning quarterback, that puts you just a little bit ahead of all the other programs that don't. So we'll see how that goes with the both the Reds and the Mustangs on having returning quarterbacks. But yeah, a lot of accolades right now with the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. And if we ask Coach Alafopo about it, he'd be like, don't. He'd probably be like, don't. We haven't even played a game yet.
Yeah, let us get a game under our belt. And you know what? They have tough competition.
Yeah.
In a 3A team, Morgan, who consistently goes and wins state championships in football. So this is a really good test for them. And I know it doesn't seem like it because you look at school size and you think, okay, well, Crimson's bigger than Morgan. They should beat them. Not necessarily the case. I know Crimson's ranked number 1.
Right.
Morgan is also ranked number 1. These are 2 teams that are both ranked number 1.
I was just going to say that.
In their divisions, in their classifications.
I was just going to update you on the 3A, and they are. Yes, they are. They are the Morgan Trojans are ranked number 1 in 3A. So, yeah, we'll have the number 1 ranked 3A going up against the number 1 4A. That's pretty awesome.
It is super awesome. Mark, we should take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about something to start out with. I have to get after one of our fellow radio hosts. Not here on the Fan Sports Network.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, dude, that's aggressive.
Not here on the Fan Sports Network, but one of the national guys everyone knows. We're going to get after him.
By the way, your Enterprise Wolves coming in at number 2.
Hey, that's pretty good.
1A.
That's pretty good. Nice. All right, we'll take a break. More coming up next. Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show, From the Bleachers, live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Welcome back, everybody. It is From the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network. Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
We welcome you guys back into the show. And as promised, I said that I got to pick a bone with somebody.
Yeah, let's do it.
Whatever it is. So Colin Cowherd, well known, obviously has his show on Fox Sports and FS1.
And he is known, and he'll tell you, this is self-proclaimed from Colin Cowherd, he is known for hot takes. Like, he doesn't sit on the fence, and he'll tell you ESPN doesn't pay him to do that. They pay him for hot takes. Take it from there, Caden.
Well, his most recent hot take, and I don't even know if I want to call it a hot take, but it definitely was one of those where there's some miscommunication between maybe some interns and him, and he didn't catch it. And this is something that us people in sports radio, we probably should catch.
Right.
Okay. There was a list of what they called Collins QBs that can't win Super Bowls. On that list were not only multiple guys who are retired from football, so of course they're not going to be winning Super Bowls. He also had Dwayne Haskins, who passed away recently. And he even says in the clip, I'm going to play you a little audio from this from this clip, okay? Let's see. Let me get it here. Okay, here we go.
And then the third category is 20 guys who are not getting to a Super Bowl and certainly not winning it. And that's everybody else. From Baker Mayfield, Teddy Bridgewater, Dwayne Haskins, guys that are just not they're
and I don't know. And him stumbling wasn't because he caught the Dwayne Haskins thing.
Right.
It was because the top of the graphic says QBs that can win the Super Bowl. And then he goes to call out being like, oh, that's supposed to say can't.
Right.
He didn't catch the Dwayne Haskins thing. And it's like, you got to be better than that. And if you're going to make a list of QBs that can't win a Super Bowl, I'm sorry, but you at least have to go with QBs that are starters. You know, Don't go with the guys that are on the bench. Like, for example, he has Jameis Winston, he has Zach Wilson, he has Mitch Trubisky, Josh Rosen.
Right.
I mean, that's a stupid list. I'm sorry, but that is a dumb list. And I don't normally do this, but putting the name of somebody on there that has died?
Yeah, that's out there, man.
Nah, I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. Fan, not a fan. I am not a fan. And it kind of got under my skin a little bit today. I'm not going to lie. I saw that earlier today, and I was like, I really don't like that.
Yeah, that's out there, dude.
I really don't. And I would understand if it's an honest mistake. But the other thing is when people go out and say out of their way, and one of his things that is well known, kind of behind the scenes, is he's like, we don't talk about death. If athletes die, we don't talk about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what he says?
That's one of his things. Is like, we don't want to do that. We don't want to bring the show down. So we don't talk about death. So I'm like, okay, well, if you don't recognize the people that have passed on, how are you going to remember in moments like this that, oh, hey, yeah, by the way, I know he wasn't like the most well-known player out there on the field.
Right.
I get that. But that was a big news story. You should definitely keep that name in your mind. And I don't know. It just got under my skin. So I'm usually not this negative. I'm sorry, but
Well,
I feel like I had to bring it up.
well, since we're kind of on this type of
Negativity?
negativity, I
Let's
guess.
just keep it down, everybody. Oh, my God.
Here's a wide receiver that probably won't ever win a Super Bowl.
I probably won't ever see the field.
Henry Ruggs III.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers him as a Las Vegas Raider. Accused of driving up to 156 miles per hour.
That's what it was.
I knew it was over what we were talking
We
about
were talking,
today.
and I was like, I think it was in the 120s. 156.
156 miles per hour down residential streets with a blood alcohol content of 0.16. I think that's double. That's
Yeah,
over
yeah.
double.
0.08. Well, unless you're in Utah. Utah changed it, so now it's even. It's like 0.05 in
Is it?
Utah. But they were in Nevada.
Yeah, they're in
0.08.
Nevada.
0.08.
Yeah, and it does say here in parentheses, twice the legal limit. And then at the time of the crash that resulted in the deaths of a 23-year-old woman, Tina Tintor, and her dog in November of 2021. Okay, so I've kind of caught you guys back up. You remember old Henry?
Yes.
Well, he was sentenced today, and I want your take. And, hey, if any callers want to call in, too, and give us their take, we'd be more than happy to go over this as well. But 3 to 10 years. 3 to 10 years. Let's just review the facts. Double the limit, drunk.
Yeah.
156 miles per hour down Las Vegas residential streets. Killed Tina Tintor and her dog. And could possibly, I mean, let's be honest, with good behavior could be out maybe in 2. I don't know. But let's just go with the minimum of 3, okay? Could be sooner. Is that justice?
In my opinion, no. And
No.
this is remember, this is coming from a couple of guys that we cover the Raiders heavily. We were pretty hyped up on the Raiders that year too. So when that happened, that was a shot to the gut for both of us. And I'm sure especially for you as being a Raider fan.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was like, oh, come on, It's tough to feel that way when something like that happens because again, it's someone that we kind of look up to as an athlete. We look up to our athletes who took someone's life by their actions.
And
it's tough.
We were talking
and only
about
3 years?
Yeah.
3 years minimum?
3. And let's be, okay, so say you tack on the 2 years of, now I don't know if he's been in jail or if he's been monitored at home. I'm not quite sure. But let's just say the last 2 years, you count that as well. So 5, it still feels not right. Not right at all. Again, 156. Do you know how fast that is? I don't, because I've never been 156 miles per hour.
No. I've never driven that fast.
156 miles per hour, twice the alcohol limit in his body. 3 to 10 is not enough. And even if it was 10 to 15, I might say not enough.
So, defense attorney and former DUI prosecutor Thomas Moskal spoke with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. And this is what he said. He said 3 to 10 years is on the low end of what we see in DUI death cases in that courthouse. He said a typical sentence for DUI resulting in death has a 5-year minimum as opposed to 3, usually. So
I wonder if they're counting that 2 years.
And maybe he was, I don't know if he was on a house arrest or not.
And maybe that's why they say 3 to 10.
And maybe he was on some sort of house arrest during that time. I don't know. I know he was out. I do know that. He was not in jail the whole time.
Oh, he wasn't?
Yeah, I do know that he was not in jail the whole time. I did hear some story quite a while back.
Ankle bracelet? Anything? Probably.
Could be. I don't know. Not necessarily, but could be. I mean, I would assume if they're counting that time, he probably would have been on at least an ankle monitor. Otherwise, they're not going to count that time because he essentially is free until the sentencing happens. So I do think it's a little light. Personally, I do. I mean, I don't know why they didn't give him at least the minimum of 5.
And
and I think he honestly too, he could, with good time, he could be out in 2.5.
That's what I'm wondering. So at sentencing, Ruggs read a statement, and this is what he said. I sincerely apologize for my actions the morning of November 2nd, 2021. Then he said, my actions are not a true reflection of me. Yeah, I don't know. I understand making mistakes. We all make mistakes on all different levels. But this mistake took somebody's life, and that family member. I don't know if Tina Tintor was a mom or not, but regardless, somebody doesn't have their daughter anymore, and won't forever, or their granddaughter, cousin, sister-in-law, whatever the case might be. Ever again will they see Tina Tintor? And I'm not saying that that's what we have to do with Henry Ruggs III, but it just doesn't feel right to me. 3 to 10 doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
And again, does 10 to 15? Maybe. But
even 5 to,
just 156 miles per hour, for hell's sake.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a choice. That is not something that you can...
While under the influence,
which is another choice.
Yes. And I mean, like, heavily.
And I remember, Derek
Heavily.
Carr. I remember Derek Carr. He was telling the story a little bit about that night, because they were at Big Shots.
Top Golf. Yeah.
Big Shots.
Their version.
Yeah.
Their version of Big Shots. Yeah.
Keep advertising Big Shots because it's working. But no, I remember Derek Carr saying that, he was with him at Top Golf for a while. Derek Carr ended up leaving, and he got a phone call or something. I don't know. This isn't verbatim, but and Derek Carr thought to himself, I should go get him. And he obviously didn't, and then the rest is history. But yeah, just it's a sad story all the way around, no question about it. But it just doesn't seem like justice to me. Justice to me, it seems a little bit more correct if it was double digits, 10 to 15, 12 to 18, something like that. 3, it kind of makes me sick a little bit. Just makes me sick a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways, this is a really upbeat show today.
Really upbeat indeed.
Oh, my goodness. What can we talk about, Caden, to
man.
kind of bring this up a little bit?
Well, that is a great question. I don't know, because it's just, my mind is just still kind of blown with some of this stuff that we have going on. But, it's interesting. It's interesting. There's a lot. So, yeah. You know what? Let's talk about this. I did see something today, and I'm curious what you think something like this would be worth. Okay. There has been a baseball card made of the time that Shohei Ohtani was pitching to Mike Trout in the World Baseball Classic.
In the WBC, yep.
And both of them got together and signed a few of those cards.
Okay.
How much do you think one of those cards would be worth?
Oh, my gosh. That's...
If you had to take a wild guess, and I don't know, it's not like somebody went and put worth on those cards. It was just one of those where, it was a social media post where they're like, hey, they signed some of these cards. And I'm like, that has to be worth something. That's pretty cool to have 2 of the top players in the world on one baseball card pitching, and on the same team. Very rarely are they ever going to face off against each other. They've only ever done it once. That was the one and only time. It has been made into a baseball card. They both signed it. That has to be worth some pretty good change, I would think.
Especially when the older it gets. I could see though this, especially when Mike Trout and Shohei, when they're cemented as 2 of the greatest baseball players ever. Obviously, Mike Trout probably not going to get much postseason play if he stays with the Angels. Shohei Ohtani on his way out, guaranteed. the more accolades that they get will make this card tremendous, and they both signed it. That is,
I have it on our YouTube. There's only 3, and they even marked them.
That is
1 of
phenomenal.
3, 2 of 3, and 3. So they only have 3 of these cards that they both signed.
that is
And,
phenomenal.
I guarantee those are definitely worth something, huh? It's a Topps card, by the way, if you're wondering what brand it was.
Topps, I think, that's what I have the most of, I think.
Yeah, Topps is the main brand. Topps and Panini are probably your 2 main brands. Which, by the way, Panini and Hot Water, I could get into that too. It's kind of a cool card.
Yeah.
I like it. I think that, man, how much would I pay for that? I don't have the money for that kind of stuff, so I don't even know. But it's going to go for millions, if not more, So it's just, yeah, it's a stupid amount of money. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Right now, they have. I just went there. I think this is the. Show me that picture again. Do you have that picture up there again?
I can get it up there.
I wonder if this is.
This
no, this is a different one. So this is a 2018 Topps, and I would think that what they have
this
here
is going to be
WBC
way
is worth
more. Yeah.
They have a 2018 Topps Trout Pujols, $85,000 on eBay.
Oh, this is going to be millions.
Yeah, it will be. It
millions.
Will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, no question about it.
It's a cool looking card. I got to admit it. For those of you who haven't seen it, you kind of have to see it. It's a cool card. Mike Trout posted it on his Twitter. That's where I saw it, or his X.
Oh, okay. On his X. That's weird.
It's so stupid. Oh man,
I'm surprised they haven't taken enough heat on that.
Dude, do you know what I read the other day?
What'd you put on X? What?
Do you know what I read the other day? And I don't know this because I don't subscribe to Twitter Blue, right? Twitter Blue, where everyone can just pay money and get a check mark, right?
Yeah, right.
They're calling it X Premium.
That sounds naughty.
That's the problem. A lot of women are seeing that their husbands have X Premium on their phones, and they're like, hey, what is this?
Oh, my God.
And they're like, it's Twitter, I swear.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Sure, just Twitter.
Wow.
Anyways, I just, sorry, that's a side tangent there, but I just found that kind of funny.
Yeah,
today,
that is good.
Anyways, yeah, I feel like we're kind of all over the place in this segment, but there's a lot of interesting things to talk about. Again, we kind of started this one in the down in the dumps a little bit, so we kind of need to bring it back with some fun stuff. So might as well talk some baseball cards a little bit, but we do have a lot of football to talk about still. Some good stuff from football, maybe some not so good stuff. You never know. But we do have a lot of football stuff to get to today. And, again, training camps and stuff are going on right now. It's definitely full swing football from here on out, which I don't know about you, but I'm just ready for it. Bring it on.
Everybody is.
We've had the one preseason game between the Jets and the Browns, and it was okay. It's preseason.
It's backups.
I like watching it, but it's preseason.
It's second and third. Guys just trying to make the team. So, again, my interest level in preseason, my thoughts on preseason, Caden. Do away with all of it. I just want to jump into the regular season, whether it's high school, NFL, doesn't matter. I'm ready for regular season football. Preseason football does not interest me at all.
And that even includes at the high school level.
Even at the high school level.
You're like, I'm excited.
Although this is kind of a big game this week. I mean, at least... Here's the deal with at least high school football preseason. It still counts.
That's true. RPI counts for everything.
RPI counts. So there's no question about it that it certainly does make it more interesting that way. NFL has no bearing on anything at all. Just guys trying to make the team.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's true.
You're not going to see Aaron Rodgers. You're not going to see, hell, you won't even see Brock Purdy.
You might.
You won't. No.
You might see him in the first game for the first drive.
You're not going to see Jimmy G. You're not going to see Patrick Mahomes. You're not going to see any of those guys. If you do, it'll be for a hot second.
It might be a drive,
and that's
a drive. A drive at the. I'd say the drive at the very least, at the most a quarter or a half. Sometimes they'll play a whole half. of the first game, and then they're done.
Not anymore.
But
That's old
that's the thing.
school.
Most of the time, they don't.
Yeah, that's
Most of the
old
time they
school.
don't.
I haven't seen that
I'll tell you this.
in 3 or 4 years. I haven't seen that.
You're not going to see, especially your really, really good quarterbacks, right? The ones that don't have anybody to battle, you're not going to see.
You're not going to see the people you want to see.
Yeah, you won't see Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow's
Sure.
injured, so you
will
won't see
these,
him anyways.
will these starting right guard for the Chiefs or the Raiders or the Chargers play? Yeah.
Very well could.
But do we want to watch the starting right guard play? Again, not taking anything away from their job. They're the ones that actually win the games.
But
That's
they're
my
not the one
opinion.
with the ball in their
But,
hands.
Yeah,
so.
they're not the ones that we pay money to watch. They're not the ones that we pay money for jerseys. They're not the. That's just that case.
Well, and
You're not going to see the teams. You're not going to see the people you want to watch. You're not going to see Justin Jefferson on the
No,
field.
no. Now, there will be some scenarios where we might see, for example, Will Levis and Malik Willis battling it out in Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not so set on Tannehill. They have 2 quarterbacks that they very recently have picked up in the draft. Both of them are going to be battling for that spot as kind of the number 1 backup. We're going to see kind of a fun quarterback battle there. Tennessee's going to be fun to watch in the preseason because of it. That's one of those that I would be a little more interested in watching in preseason because you won't see them in the regular season until, or if, I'm going to say if, Tannehill goes down. That's an interesting one to kind of watch. There will be maybe Tampa Bay might have a little bit of a battle. I don't think they're set on Baker Mayfield. He's going to play in the preseason. But you know what? He's not the only one that's going to play. They're going to see if there's other options on that quarterback depth chart that might be a better fit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be kind of an interesting one potentially. If you really want to go watch some Baker Mayfield, Mark, he's your favorite player of all time. So I know you'll be watching.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield is a great NFL quarterback.
It's not April 1st. What are we doing here?
I'm hoping you'll take that
we'll
cut.
make that into a
make
promo.
it a promo.
Baker Mayfield is a great NFL quarterback. I should have made that a promo the day after they played the Raiders with the Rams.
Yeah, you should have. That's for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, let's take a break. We got more coming up next. We'll be wrapping up the 4 o'clock hour. Stick with us here on From the Bleachers.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show, From the Bleachers, live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Welcome back in, everybody. It is From the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network. Kate Informaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
Don't forget, everybody, you can tune in to the show live on YouTube, broadcasting pretty much every day. Most days.
Yes.
Most days over on YouTube. We have every day this week so far. We've had a lot of guests in studio, and we want to make sure that everybody can see what and who they are.
Absolutely. It's been a great week so far.
It's been a great week. You know, we actually talked about that yesterday after leaving the show. We were like, man, that was a fun show yesterday.
Yeah, for sure.
But it always helps. We had we had Matt Neverett with the Las Vegas Aviators on yesterday. We had the Desert Hills, but Crimson Cliffs Volleyball was in yesterday.
Yep.
And if you do want to go back and check out some of that stuff, go find our live streams. Just go to our YouTube page, click on live, go to yesterday's date, and the Crimson Cliffs Lady Mustangs, they were in at about 5:20 yesterday, so you can check out their interview at that timestamp. So, yeah, it was a good show yesterday. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did.
Mark, I know that you are fired up about this.
Well,
we got to get to this story because it's an interesting one. It's a good one.
I've coached football before. Yes, it's on the youth level, but I will tell you something about football. When you're coaching there's an intensity.
There's passion.
That passion is a good word as well. Yeah. That really comes out in you. And when you're also a football coach, and I'm sure this isn't with everybody, but you certainly use your outside voice. Okay?
Which for you is surprisingly, you have an outside voice.
It's pretty good. Yeah. It's pretty good.
You hear it if you are out at Thunder Field or in the Thunderdome. I mean, you use your outside voice on the inside.
I do.
For those basketball and volleyball games.
Now, Eric Bieniemy, offensive coordinator for the Chiefs for many years, and he's been bypassed over and over for head coaching jobs. Okay. Yeah. And I think a lot of this, and this is probably why he made the move to be under Ron Rivera and the Washington Commanders and be their offensive coordinator first. I mean, usually you don't go from one offensive coordinator to another offensive coordinator team unless you were fired. And he wasn't fired from the Chiefs. The Chiefs always they would put out good feelers all the time that he deserves a head coaching job. Andy Reid liked him. But here's the deal with the Chiefs. So I don't think he got enough credit for being the offensive coordinator over there, and probably for good reason. First off, you have the best player in the NFL at quarterback for your team. Plus, you have Andy Reid. Andy Reid is really the offensive genius behind that offense.
Even though he he's a lineman, right? That's what he went.
Yeah,
that's what he went to school for at BYU. He's a lineman. He just sees the field in a different way than most human beings.
Yeah. Well, apparently,
so good at it.
Apparently, the wide receivers over at the Washington Commanders training camp, they're just getting their feelers hurt a little bit.
Yeah, a little
because
bit.
Eric Bieniemy is very intense. So when first-year wide receiver Kyrick McGowan, he dropped his second pass of the day,
If you drop passes, you're running, you're doing push-ups. That's just how it goes.
And an exasperated, pissed off Eric Bieniemy shouted at really no one but everyone, And he says, in fact, let me just go here. He says, receivers have to catch the ball. Is he wrong?
I mean, that's the job of
That's their job.
They're called receivers. They're not called droppers. I'm sorry, but you are receivers for a reason. You are not droppers.
Well, some of these wide receivers, they go to Ron Rivera. They think that Bieniemy's being too tough on him. And, Rivera just said, hey, go talk to him, see what he's about. He'll explain to you what he's talking about. And, again, football is a very passionate, very intense sport. I remember coaching youth football one time. We were out at Snow Canyon, okay? Probably, if I had to guess, 5th grade, maybe 6th grade football. And again, we're using our outside voices. We're calling plays and getting on our players. Hey, get in there, just using our outside voices. Well, I remember this one mom one time. She goes up to our own Devin Dixon, okay? Mm-hmm. To our own Devin Dixon, because he was on our coaching staff as well. And she says to him, hey, Devin. Devin goes over. Do the coaches have to yell all the time? Yeah, we do. It's football. It's football. If you don't want to yell, if you don't want your kid yelled at, get him in. Well, I don't even know if you can get him in tennis. Get him in golf. Get him somewhere else.
On the golf course.
Yeah, you can't yell on the golf course. Coaches yell. And I promise you, at football practices all around Region 9, there was some yelling going on today.
Dude,
your kid's going to get yelled at.
I played enough sports in my life. You get yelled at. I'm sorry, but you just do. And it's not that they're even yelling at you. Sometimes they're just yelling because guess what? You're on a football field. The guy might be 50 yards away from you. You have to yell.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to just be like, hey, Mark, that was a really good play.
Yeah.
No, well, you're not. I mean, you have to, not only do you need to project just so they can hear you, but it's like, show the intensity. Show that this means something. You're not just going to say, hey, it'd be really nice if you did not drop that pass. Like, let's work on that. It's like, no, you got to show them like, hey, this is do or die out there. This is your job.
And here's the thing, too.
They're going to get after you.
Eric Bieniemy has Super Bowl rings.
He's got a couple. Just
none of those wide receivers do.
Absolutely.
So you know what? I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt to Eric Bieniemy and the coach and his coaching style because he's been there. He's won. The Washington Commanders haven't won in a very long time. So they need that intensity. They need that fire in the belly to get them going. And again, these wide receivers, they're a little prima donna-ish. There's no question about it. As far as all of the positions when it comes to football, and I really don't care what level of football we're talking about, especially NFL, they're prima donnas. They don't like to be yelled at. They've always been coddled, in high school, college. You know what? Now you're in the NFL. This is a job. And other people's paycheck depend on you, not just not just trying to win a national championship in college football, or not trying to win a state championship or a region championship in high school football. People's paychecks now depend on you, so
100%.
You're not going to get coddled anymore. Go out and do your job, and like Eric Bieniemy says, receivers need to catch the ball. And he's not wrong.
One thing that Bieniemy said as well, he said, I want our guys to clearly understand we don't take anything for granted. And I like that. And you know what? At this point in the season, it's early. They haven't even started playing any games yet. Some of those guys out there might find themselves on a practice squad. They might find themselves cut.
Yeah.
He wants a lot of, he's trying to put fire in these guys to say, hey, if you want to make this roster, you got to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing right now. Some of these guys, it is do or die. And if they're not out there catching the ball, in his mind, he's thinking, do you really want this?
Yeah.
I mean, you are a professional at catching the football. How many people could say, I'm a professional football catcher, right? Granted, It's obviously, you're a wide receiver, right? I don't want to underplay it too much, but at the same time, that is what it is. You are a professional at that job. You need to do that job. He's trying to get them to the level of professional. He wants them to be as professional as possible, and that means you don't drop those balls. You just don't.
Right. I know. I totally agree.
So I'm on his side with this. I think that there's always growing pains in any sort of new season. You have new players coming in. You do have new coaches. There's always growing pains. This is just a growing pain. They'll figure it out. And the fact that we're talking about it right now just kind of shows this is preseason stuff. There's going to be things like this where a new coach comes in and riles things up. They roughen up the feathers or whatever it is that they call it, right?
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll see how this plays out through the year.
Yeah, keep your eye on that.
I'm very curious. Very curious how this will all play out. So
don't pick a wide receiver in the fantasy football draft from the Washington Commanders. Actually, Terry McLaurin's really good.
Terry McLaurin's pretty good. But do they have the quarterback to back him up?
Sam Howell, how dare you, Caden?
He's your favorite behind Baker Mayfield?
I'm taking him higher than Baker Mayfield. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see. All right, we're going to take a break. 5 o'clock hour coming up next. Stick around with us here on From the Bleachers and the Fan Sports Network.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show, From the Bleachers, live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Corns for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Welcome back in, everybody. It is From the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network. Caden Formaster, Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
Welcome back into the show. Wanted to remind you to check out Handel's Ice Cream this weekend. Saturday, we're going to be there broadcasting live. Den will be there from 3 to 5. And this is your chance to help us fill the bus with Findlay Subaru. Now, Handel's is having their back-to-school party. Part of that is if you donate to fill the bus, any sort of donation is going to get you a free scoop of Handel's Ice Cream. You got to love it. That's a great way to get some ice cream.
Yummy.
So literally just go donate some pencils, some lined paper, some notebooks, whatever it is. They need all sorts of different things. Even stuff like hygiene products and clothing, things like that. Just anything to help some of these kids going back to school that their families just can't afford some of these things, right? So if you can make any sort of donations, that would be fantastic. And doing so, get you a free scoop of ice cream at Handel's.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty great.
Hey, so have you heard of Kevin Brown, broadcaster Kevin Brown of the Orioles?
I can't say that I do.
Well, he's been suspended, okay?
Oh, what'd he do?
Baltimore Orioles owner apparently has the thinnest skin in the world, and he's the Orioles broadcaster, okay? So he was suspended. Let me just pull this up right here. So he was suspended because he said this. He stated that the Orioles had already won more games at Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Bay Rays, than they had in the previous 3 seasons combined. Okay?
So isn't
That's
that
all
just
he
a
said.
fact?
It's a fact. That's all he said. Well, apparently, the Baltimore Orioles owner, his boss, did not like that. Did not like kind of
Pointing
maybe
out the fact that they've
dissing
been
his
bad
team
for the last
over the
few
last
years.
3 years. Yes. And suspended him. Well, at last night's game, the crowd, they got into a chant of free Kevin Brown. Okay. Well, it must have landed home a little tiny bit, and I'm sure that the owner of the Orioles has taken a lot of heat for this, but he is expected back. It just says soon. Now, your soon and my soon may be different than the Orioles soon.
Is the Orioles soon next season?
Yeah, who knows?
Or is it next game?
So-
or is it next series? Next month?
It's a strange story. Now, here's what I like about broadcasters, the good ones.
Yeah.
Is first off, they're not homers. I apparently the Baltimore Orioles owner wants them to be homers and never say anything bad about their team. Always just kind of tiptoe around problems. You know, there's 2 sets of broadcast teams that I cannot stand to listen to. One of them is the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the others is the Colorado Rockies. Those 2 sets of broadcast teams are homers. I mean, if you're watching it on Root Sports or Arizona West and you're listening to their broadcast team, and you got the K-zone there, you're watching it.
Yeah.
And if there's a pitch that their pitcher throws that just misses the zone and they don't call it a strike, they go all crazy. That should have been, But if the other way around, if it's the opposing pitcher and they get that call, boy, that call was way outside. Boy, that's a gift. And I just have a hard time with homers, okay?
Yeah.
I like broadcast teams that tell the truth. Think back to, I'm sure Hot Rod Hundley spoke the truth about the Jazz, because I go back to his mentor, Chick Hearn. He was the voice of the Lakers for many, many years. And I remember I was watching a game, early 90s, when the Lakers kind of took a little dip. Sedell Threatt was one of their players, and Anthony Peeler, Doug Christie. There were some players and they were walking off the court smiling and kind of laughing a little bit after they lost a game. And one thing I'll always remember about Chick Hearn is that he just told it the way it was. He's like, I'll tell you what. This is what Chick Hearn was kind of saying. This isn't quote. He goes, I'll tell you what, when Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Byron Scott, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar lost the game, they did not walk off the court with smiles on their faces. He goes, that's not Laker basketball right there. And he just called him out. And that's what I love about broadcasters that call it the way they see it. I was just watching a Dodger broadcast just the other night, Oral Hershiser on the call, and one of the Dodger pitchers got a call. Like the pitch was just off of the K zone, and they called it a strike. And Oral Hershiser just said, oh, wow, Julio Urias kind of got a gift right there.
Yeah, that's actually what I was just thinking.
Because that's what it was.
A gift, yeah.
He calls it the way he sees it, and that's what I love about broadcasters that call it the way they see it. They're not afraid of ownership, management. If their team is playing crappy, say they're playing crappy. Don't tiptoe around it. Sounds like Kevin Brown was just stating some facts. Orioles owner, thin skin, suspended him for that.
I fully agree with you on this, but I also agree that I feel like there's a line in today's world because there's certain things that you just can't get away with now. For example,
that's not one of them, though.
No, here's the thing. That situation, that one was stupid. That was a bad one. But I will say this. There's, do you remember, and you might not because you don't follow the Jazz all that closely, but Matt Harpring was color commentator for the Jazz for quite a while. And he wasn't horrible, right? But one of the things that people said about him a lot was that he always just seemed to favor whoever the Jazz were playing and not the Jazz, right? When it came down to a controversial call, he'd always play devil's advocate and take the other side.
Yeah.
Now, is that something that he's doing just to try to get a little friction in the broadcast and just try to say, hey, let's see it from the other point of view? I know we're the Jazz broadcast, but let's look at the other team's point of view on this. Maybe, but guess what it did? He lost his job. Ultimately.
Yeah.
He is not the color commentator for the Utah Jazz. Now, is that the reason he's not? I don't know.
Right.
But I will say this. Fans didn't like it.
Well,
the fans don't love it when you go against the grain a little. Now, that case versus this case with the Orioles broadcaster, those are completely different because this Orioles broadcaster was just stating a fact. It wasn't an opinion. It wasn't saying, well, it wasn't saying something about how good the Rays are. No, he was just saying, hey, we've won more games this season than we have in the last 3 years combined in this stadium. Okay.
I remember Chick Hearn. I remember Chick Hearn would say things like if a Laker just couldn't make a shot.
Yeah.
Say Byron Scott was,
just having an off day.
0 for 9 or 1 for 10 or whatever. I mean, he would call it the way he sees it. Boy, Byron Scott can't throw it in the ocean tonight. I mean, that's the things that he would say. He just called it the way he saw it.
And that's just how it is. And I personally, I have a hard time with this because I do see people out there on Twitter and stuff that can be pretty harsh when it comes to their broadcasters. And I don't know if it's because I am a broadcaster that I'm like, look, man, I agree with them though. There's a lot of times that they'll say, oh, that person's opinion is just not right on that. I'm like, look, he's just trying to call it as he sees it. Maybe he's seen something you're not. Don't be a homer. I try to have that neutral lens, and sometimes I just don't see what other people see. Or maybe I see things just in a different way than other people see it. Because I am the kind of person to do what you're saying.
Yeah.
If the team I like is not doing good, I am going to call them out.
Now, I understand that, being the voice of whoever that team is paying is your paycheck.
Yeah, you need to talk them up a little.
Yeah, for sure. But I still give credibility to broadcasters that just call it the way they see it. Now, as a PA announcer, a little bit different role as far as that's concerned. Even though I'm there for Desert Hills High School, I will, and thank goodness I'm not like doing play-by-play or color, in the gyms or the stadiums around Region 9. But as far as being a PA announcer, but my job there is to have a little bit more energy for the home crowd.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm there for. I'm there to bring some energy, to get the home crowd hyped, that kind of thing. I still give energy on the opposing side as well, though. I try to do a 60-40, 70-30 split. When I'm announcing the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs basketball team, I just don't go like this and do the playing, here's the starters for the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. I mean, I put some energy into it as well.
Yeah.
So, a little bit different being a PA announcer versus being a play-by-play or color guy for a team, and certainly a team that pays your bills. I understand that there's a line there, but I respect more when you aren't a complete homer. I understand there's going to be some homerness in it. I get that because, again, they're paying your bills. But I like the broadcast teams that aren't complete homers. Man, when I listen to an Arizona D-back game or a Colorado Rocky game, I don't even want to listen. It's those two they're that bad.
Well,
they're that bad.
And I saw a broadcast the other day. Someone hit a home run. They come around third base, and they kind of stopped after coming around third base to do some sort of quick little, those little secret handshake high fives people have, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. And it took a little bit of time. He kind of stopped after rounding third, and then he headed on home. And the broadcaster, that is disgusting. How dare they? They're just disrespecting the game of baseball and our team. And I'm like, dude, he hit a home run. He's excited. Just let him be excited. It took maybe a second. And I say maybe. I paused for a second and then kept on going. Maybe a second.
You know what?
It's fine.
I
don't care.
When it comes to that kind of stuff, whether it's bat flips or handshakes, trotting around the bases maybe a little slower than you should, I don't have a problem with any of that.
I'm like, dude,
know what?
You just hit a bomb. Of course you're going to take your time.
You don't want him to do that. Don't let him hit a home run. I know that's easier said than done most of the time. But I'll tell you what, when pitchers get a called third strike to end an inning or something, there are some that, pump their fists and they shoot arrows up into the sky. And, what's the difference?
There is no difference. There is no difference.
I don't have a problem with it at all. If you don't want him to bat flip or trot around the bases a little slower than normal or do some handshakes at third base, if you don't want him to do it, don't let him hit a home run. That's my thoughts on that.
I think I can agree with that. I think it's stupid. I mean, why wouldn't you just say, whatever. They hit a home run. Yeah, they did. We're losing now. It sucks. But I don't know. Sometimes it's easier said than done because if you have rivalries and you have these games that have more meaning to it, sometimes you get a little too invested in the fandom of that team. Broadcasters are covering these teams day in and day out. And we're a little different because we cover every single team in Southern Utah. I don't have a favorite. I don't have any connection specifically to one school over another here in Region 9. I will give every single one of them as much credit as I can. Yeah, I will watch the teams and I'll be like, hey, I expect this team to be really good. So it probably feels like I'm giving a certain team certain love or a little more love. But it's like, the better you play, the more love we give you. That's just kind of sports.
Yeah, for sure.
That's sports. The better you play, the better the more love we give you.
Well, speaking of teams that are playing well in Major League Baseball, you got your division leaders. You've got the Milwaukee Brewers, Atlanta Braves, the best record in baseball, by the way, and the LA Dodgers. Dodgers have won 3 straight. Both Atlanta and Milwaukee lost last night, so they won. I apologize. So they have both won 1. Milwaukee's 5-5 in their last 10, though. Atlanta 6-4, and the Dodgers 8-2 in their last 10. So they're playing some really good baseball. Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts have been on a complete tear, especially Freddie Freeman. He is really on a tear right now. Philadelphia owns that first NL wildcard spot. San Francisco tied with them with the second one. And your Cubbies are still hanging in there. They're tied with Miami right now.
By a thread.
But Chicago does have that slight edge. right now over
by the
Cincy.
percentage, it's .518, and
Yeah.
the Marlins are .517.
It is so tight. Arizona, they have certainly fallen back to probably what they should be.
They're at
They've
500 right now.
They've lost 7 straight, though.
Yeah, they're 2-8 of the last 10.
They were in the wild card spot not so long ago. San Diego also playing quite poorly. They've lost 3 straight. They're 5-5 their last 10 games. Moving down the American League, Minnesota, Baltimore, Texas are your 3 division leaders. All of them losing last night, by the way. Wild card, Tampa Bay holds that number 1 spot. Houston holds that number 2 spot. And Toronto right now has the 3rd wild card spot with Seattle 2 games back. They're playing some really good baseball right now. 6 in a row.
Yeah, they're killing
for
it.
the Mariners.
They're killing it.
New York Yankees, they are 4.5 back, and Boston 5 back. And the Angels,
They slipped behind 500. They're 57.
they
58 right now.
gotta win though.
They did get 1 win.
So now they're 1-7 since the trade deadline.
It's rough. It's been rough.
Yikes.
Yeah, they got to do better.
Yikes.
It's plain and simple. Got to do better. So, yeah. Anyway, baseball, man. Yeah, we're finally. I feel like we're getting into it a little bit. We're getting closer to those playoffs. We will be diving in more and more every single week to the playoffs, especially once we get to September. September, you know, I love September. September baseball to me is awesome.
Well,
It's fun.
certainly, baseball is such a marathon. It's the dog days of summer. Postseason baseball is something that a lot of people look forward to. They don't really start paying attention for baseball until August, September.
Yeah.
And that's when people really start turning their attention to baseball and getting ready for the postseason. I understand that the Lady Warriors are in the house.
Yeah, we got them coming up next.
So, yep, I see them.
Okay, we'll take a break. We'll step aside, get them set up, ready to go. And when we come back, the Lady Warriors Volleyball will be here with us on From the Bleachers.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show From the Bleachers live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Welcome back in, everybody. It is From the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network. Caden Formaster here and Mark Musgrave.
The voice, you know.
The Snow Canyon Lady Warriors are here as well. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
Everybody.
There's we got 5 of you in here right now.
Yes.
So we welcome you in, and we're excited to have you here.
And we're waiting for Coach still, but we're going to go ahead and get started.
Yeah, we'll jump right on into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go.
So, well, welcome in. Okay, let's get 2 of you on the mic. Who's going to be the 2 up front first? Someone
I
right
can
there.
do it.
Let's go
Is
right
this
there. Right
close?
there. Yeah.
That's
Okay,
perfect.
That is really good.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if I can get you 2, we'll start. Let's start with you, and then we'll go to you. Just tell me your name and what position you are out there.
I'm Avery Thorkelson, and I'm an outside hitter.
My name is Fitwell Topsaw. I'm a middle blocker, but a libero at heart.
Wait a
and
minute.
sometimes a setter.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Libero
Hold
at
on. Hold on. What's your last name?
Topasaw. Oh, no.
Now, wait a minute. Why
up?
aren't you wearing black and gold?
Because it's SC till die, always.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
You know
No,
how it is.
I respect that. I am proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Was there a conversation? Now, for those of you that don't know, Coach, is it Topasa? Is that how you say it?
Topasaw.
Topasaw.
Yeah.
No kidding. Okay,
Yep.
thank you for letting me know that because
Of
I'd have said it. I would have said it wrong all football season.
He just goes by Coach Taps.
Coach Taps
Yep.
is the new head football coach at Desert Hills High School.
Yes.
And you know, when we first heard that, there were some conversation of whether you would remain at Snow Canyon or now this was just water cooler talk.
Oh.
You know, nobody that really knows anything was staying
Yeah.
there. But we
Very
were just
good.
kind of curious. So I'm proud that was there a conversation about that?
For me, not really, because I really enjoy Snow Canyon and like all the family and friends that I've made there. I'm in 3 sports programs. I'm going to be on our student government.
Yeah.
I was already voted in for that, so I couldn't really just leave them hanging. And I just love Snow Canyon too much to transfer to Desert Hills, where I don't really.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, but not enough to make me want to switch jump boats. But my little sister will be attending Desert Hills.
That's pretty awesome.
Incoming
though.
freshman, yeah.
I mean, your senior year, you know these ladies so well, and you're a 3-sport player, volleyball. What's the basketball?
Basketball, yep. And then I do all the throwing events.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's
Super fun.
Well, let's talk volleyball.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. I mean, we can talk football all day long, but that's not what we got you ladies here for. That's not what we got you ladies here for. I am a huge, huge fan of volleyball. Okay, I think it is probably it is so far up there as far as a just an entertaining sport to watch. And I tell people all the time, and Caden will back me up on this. I'm always telling people to get out and watch your guys' games. They are so much fun. If you haven't been to a volleyball match in a while, get out because all you ladies are so much fun to watch. I love volleyball. Now, there's no question there. I understand that.
Yeah, no,
Now,
totally.
Now, and then we got, what was your first name?
Avery.
Avery Thorkelson. Now, is it hard to be the daughter of a head coach?
Yeah.
What? Tell me, because I'm gonna ask you this, Avery, and then I'm gonna ask some other players. What's it like being at Coach Thorkelson's practice? What does a practice like of hers entail? Is she quiet? Does she get on you? Little of both? How does she handle practices?
She always has a plan. She always is ready and organized. And yeah, she kind of can be intense sometimes.
Yeah.
She'll like yell at us, but she always just says, like so that we can hear her better. But like, and she always makes sure the drills are quick and it's really action packed and it's fun.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on a Coach Thorkelson?
Practice plan or just in general?
Just in general.
I love playing for Coach Thorkelson. She's a good coach to have. I've been playing for her since I was like 7th grade.
Yeah.
My first year I've ever played club. So Coach Marquet taught me how to play. But like she said, very detailed schedule. Stays on top of the ball. Makes sure we get things done right the first time, or at least tries to, because some days are kind of blood.
Yeah.
But she keeps us in shape for sure and.
Running?
And ready. Oh, not running. Well, our 6-minute abs make me have that six-pack. You know what I'm saying? She keeps us ready.
Yeah. So tell me about this upcoming season. I'm sure there's, a lot of great games in the preseason. And then, of course, when we get into the region play. Now, we've already had Crimson Cliffs and we've already had Desert Hills in here earlier this week.
Okay.
And I will say, Crimson Cliffs, when we asked them, who do you guys really just want to go play against? Where do you guys like to play? A lot of them have said Snow Canyon. Desert Hills, maybe not so much. They were like, no, we just want to beat Crimson because they're kind of the ones that are closer. But a lot of Crimson players were like, nah, Snow Canyon's kind of the one that we really want to go out there and get. Yeah. What team is it for you that you're like, that's the team that I want to beat this season? I'll let both of you answer that. I want that from each of you.
First.
Avery first.
Probably Desert Hills. They're a very good team. They play really quick, and it'd be cool to beat them.
Same?
Well, honestly, I want to beat everyone, but I have a top 3 because I played club with a lot of these girls from Cedar, Desert Hills, and Crimson. I love all of them, and it's even more fun to play against your friends.
Yeah.
And I just love how competitive they are, all 3 teams, and I just love it.
Avery, what's your favorite play in volleyball? What do you like to do the best? Is it a kill? Is it a block?
Just a cool dig.
A good dig?
Yeah, I love passing and digging. I wish I was libero. I love it back there. It's fun. Yeah.
Is that one of those things that everyone just kind of wants to be a libero?
I don't know.
Because I hear that
it's
a
really
lot.
Fun.
I hear that a lot where everyone's like, the libero's kind of a fun
just
job
taking
to
a
have.
really hard hit, a million miles an hour. It's fun.
Taps, what about you?
I love everything. No, just kidding. I really just getting a good solid block or helping out the liber setter and setting someone up for a kill.
And you're a middle, right? Are you middle?
I'm a middle.
Yeah.
Or when I'm done serving and going and playing defense and I actually pass it to a good spot, miracle. I love it.
Love it. Now you both, what's your guys' expectations this year as far as team goals? Do you have those set in place, or do you just kind of take everything game by game? Or do you have a team goal, first region title, then state title? I mean, do you have those goals as a team?
Yeah, I think.
Is it talked about?
Not really. I think we all just are trying to reach for just trying to do our very best. And we're probably going to take every game at one game at a time and just try and win each game.
Yeah.
Just focus on the game that we have next.
Support. Focus on each game to go to the unspoken big goal. Just try to win every single game that you can.
Now, other than the jungle out there, where's your favorite place to play in the region?
For me, probably Crimson. I don't know why. I like playing there.
That's a good one. I like playing at Dixie. It's close to my house.
Okay.
So it's a nice walk home.
I guess that makes it easy.
Yeah. No,
100%. Shorter travel times, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking forward to the most this season? Is it the wins? Is it hanging out with your teammates? Is it maybe accomplishing some goals? What is it that you're looking forward to?
Go right ahead. You got it.
I'm just looking for just a fun season, just doing the best I personally can, and overall just trying to be the best leader I can be on the court for all the younger people, so that when I leave, they'll know how to run it and they can all have fun without me.
And I love that attitude because and that just speaks of your program, because Snow Canyon is always one of the top programs in the region, and I think it's because of that attitude right there. You're setting the example for the younger girls, for the JV, the freshmen, and that kind of thing. And I think that's one of the one of the great traits that makes a good program. Not just a good team, but a good program. So I definitely love that. You two, thank you so much. And we're going to get a couple more of your teammates here. Yeah, getting a little nervous here. I can see the nervousness on their face.
And feel free to move those microphones wherever you need to, so they're right up close for you.
Yeah. Now, give us your names and what position you play.
I'm Mikel Taunu'u, and I'm the setter.
Okay.
And I'm Kennedy Gates, and I'm libero.
Who are your parents?
Sue and Travis Gates.
Okay, gotcha. I just grew up with a lot of people.
He's a well-connected guy. He knows everybody.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming, Lady Warriors. We appreciate it. Tell us, we're going to start off with some easy questions, just like we did with those two. Who do you like to beat the most here in the region?
I say Desert Hills.
Desert Hills?
Yeah, they run a fast game, so I like to beat them.
Yeah, I would say the same, and Crimson.
Crimson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crimson and Desert Hills.
Yeah.
I understand Cedar's going to be pretty good this year. Is that something that you guys are seeing as well? Do you know some of those girls up there as well?
Yeah.
Yeah?
They've been when we played them, they've always set a good competition and stuff, and they're really fun to play. So, yeah.
Are you gals happy with sorry, Kate, I'm going to let you jump in here, but
you're good.
I just get going with volleyball players.
I'm just letting you run, man. It's all good.
I just dig volleyball. Going from 13 teams in 4A to 27, is that something that you ladies talk about at all? Are you excited about it? Do you wish it was back to 13? Or does it matter?
I mean, there was going to be a lot more competition, and it's going to be a lot tougher, and that's going to make it like a lot more fun, just because it's volleyball and stuff. So I think it's going to be really fun. We haven't talked about it a whole ton, but I'm excited.
How about you? Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, it's a good change because we've all played the same teams for a couple years now. I think we'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good change of base.
What's your favorite thing to do in volleyball? What's your most favorite thing to do? Is it a dig? Is it a pancake? Is it a kill? What do you like to do? Set?
I think a dig is pretty rewarding. Yeah.
Dig and a pancake.
A dig. I love pancake.
When you get it up and it's
I love a pancake.
Those are the best.
I was trying to talk some of the Lady Mustangs into that being a favorite play because as a viewer, that's one of my favorite things to watch. But they're like, yeah, that's cool, but it hurts. Does it hurt when you dive and go down there and slide on the wood and?
No, if you do it right.
Shots fired.
I like it.
Shots fired, Lady Mustang.
She's over here like, that's not what I meant.
Wow.
That's not what I meant.
No, because we work on it a lot. That's why it's our favorite because we work on it so much.
Yeah. Well, and as a viewer, it's awesome. I mean, you're like, did she get that? And it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
That is awesome. Tell me, again, we kind of talked about this a little bit, but favorite place to play outside of Snow Canyon High School? I know we talked about, favorite or, biggest rivals. Is there like an environment that you really love to play in?
I like playing at Crimson and Dixie.
I like Crimson. The lighting's good there.
The lighting's good there at Crimson?
Yeah.
Crimson, you got good lights.
Good lights. That's the way to do it. Good lights.
Wow. Love it.
Yeah. Well,
Pretty
thank you.
gym.
Thank you two for hopping on with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. You bet. Oh, now we
got
got
one more
Solo.
over here.
All by herself.
Wait, I can't have just someone standing here with me?
Yes. Avery will stand there. What a good teammate. Very nicely done.
Okay.
There you go. Get right up there.
Tell us your name and what position you play.
I'm Emma Wright, and I kind of switched between outside and oppo hitter.
And okay.
Now, what for you is your favorite play in volleyball? We've asked them, what is your favorite play?
Honestly, probably the same thing, digging. Like, it just looks cool. Because I guess, it looks super cool without, it looks like it's taking a lot of effort, but when you just, kind of stand there and just put your hands together and you could dig, the hardest thing ever without really having to do anything.
Like when it comes right at you. on the serve,
if you come right, if it comes right at you, you just put your hands together and it's it just bounces off and it looks super cool.
Well, because there's some big hitters in Region 9. I mean, there's some solid hitters, so you've got to be ready for that. I just had a question, and then she kicked the cabinet, and I forgot what it was. That's how quickly questions go in and out of my head. I think I've got ADD. It's just my head's always spinning. What about an ace? None of you guys said aces. Because do you all serve here? Do all of you serve? What? I mean, an ace has to be something way cool.
Yeah, they're all like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now, when the other team shanks it, yeah. Now, when you serve, are you trying to hit the air spout thing a little? I've heard somebody that does that they try to hit that because it puts a knuckle to it or something.
Yeah, it's like old.
Is that old school?
Old school.
I'm old school. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone in this room that's old school,
it's me. It's me. I will say this because as we were talking in the first hour of the show, I love broadcasters and announcers and radio dudes that call it the way they see it. Okay. And I have to tell you, all 5 of you, I counted that fast in my head. I'm a little disappointed in all of you. Do you want to know why? I'm a little sad that your favorite place to play other than the jungle wasn't the Thunderdome, being the announcer at Desert Hills.
it's too dark.
Yeah. Maybe just like the court.
I'm a little hurt. I'm just saying I'm a little hurt.
Playing basketball there is fun though.
Basketball there is fun. We hear from the corner.
Taps she likes the basketball, over there. Well, you know what? I need to talk to our AD and maybe get the lights turned on a little brighter, right?
I'll tell him to go change out those fluorescents, go change out the bulbs.
Awesome. Let's see, we went over, where are we at with her?
I don't remember. We've asked a lot of questions. Let me ask you this. We haven't talked about this yet. Outside of your regular region schedule, you do have some preseason games. Now, I don't know if you've had a chance to really look at your schedule or not, but are there any teams that you're just like, man, that's going to be a fun game outside of region play that you're kind of excited to go up against?
Me, no. Because, it's kind of hard because I think I'm the only one in here who just moved here last year.
So for you don't really have
so like
those...
these schools haven't been like my rivals since like...
Now where'd you move from?
Las Vegas.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Now, so again,
what
I don't know
if
if
you
you
down
guys...
there?
Desert Oasis. I played volleyball for them.
So let me ask you this then, since you are kind of a transplant here to Southern Utah. What is it like coming into this team where they've already kind of known each other, and what's that camaraderie like? Because it's got to take a little bit to build, but how's it coming along?
Honestly, if I didn't try out for volleyball, I think it would have been like 10 times harder for me to make friends. Because even now, like, they're still, like, my friend group. Like, I still hang out with them out, even when the season ended. Like, they've just stayed my friends. And then this new season, I just like to make sure, like, the upcoming freshmen and the new girls, like, feel like that they, like this is a group that they could hang out with, not just in volleyball, but outside of it.
Now, I do have one more question for all of you, but you'll have to get on the mic because I do want to hear these answers. We'll start with you, okay? And I'm sorry, because you don't have any time to think about this, and the other girls will. On game day, do you have any superstitions that you do on game day?
Like
do you eat a certain meal? Do you take a nap before? Do you wear...
Probably take a nap, but I don't think that's like...
a superstition, just kind of something that...
Yeah, I don't really, like... I don't have any lucky socks.
I was going to say, we did have someone yesterday said that they always wear the same pair of socks every single game day. Or something like that. But and if you don't, you don't. I'm not one of those people. When I played sports, I didn't have any sort of superstitions or anything like that. So you might not. But I would love to know if any of you do. Do any of you?
What about you, Avery?
I don't think I have any superstitions. I'm not sure. I know, like, before the game starts, just for fun, like, with all my teammates, we all have, like, handshakes that we do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in the team room. Just
Sure.
for fun.
But if you had, like, a meal and then... say you had 3 tacos, and then you played so good that night. Say it was on a Thursday night. Tuesday night, would you have 3 tacos again?
I guess so.
I would.
I just do have a food. I always eat bananas. They're not very good, but I feel like they give me energy.
Okay.
They're disgusting.
I'm with you. I hate bananas.
Before every volleyball and softball game, I love bananas.
Okay.
Or a Cliff Bar.
I do love a good Cliff Bar too.
I don't like bananas. I do love Cliff Bars.
Yeah, me too.
I'm on board. Anybody else?
Oh, let's get both of those. Taps, come on up here.
Okay.
Let's get both of you. They were going, you first,
All
you
right.
first, you first. Taps, what about you? Superstitions.
I do not have a superstition, but I always need to have food. I'm always hungry. So I'll eat before. I'll have little snacks on the bench that I'll eat in between sets. And then I'm good to go. But I have started doing some shoulder movements before practices, and I think I'm going to make that my superstition and keep it in a routine for every game and stuff.
Okay.
What about you?
I always take 2 Tylenol.
These are not superstitions.
No, but that is a good routine.
That is a good
It's not
routine.
necessarily
And
superstition,
I
but
don't put my Tiger Balm on. It's like icy hot kind
Oh,
of.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But
Okay.
I always have to have that.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Gates, you're not escaping.
I do like the same like warm up routine. There's like same stretches and stuff, and same order and stuff.
I love it.
But other than that, not really.
All right. Well,
There you
not a
go.
big superstitious team.
No, but that's okay. Hey, before because we're not done yet.
No,
we're,
no, no.
we're not letting you go.
Well, we got
a
Coach
coach.
here.
We got a coach in the corner that needs to come hop on the line.
You got it.
Come on, Coach. You're okay.
You're literally wearing a Snow Canyon jacket. I don't know what you're talking about. Hop on over here and feel free to introduce yourself.
Just kidding. I am Kaylee Fry, and I am the JV coach for
Okay.
Snow Canyon Volleyball.
All right. How long have you been doing that?
This will be my 3rd year.
Okay. So you know these girls.
Yeah, I know them all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which one's the best one here?
I can't-
No, I'm
I
just
can't-
kidding.
I can't say that.
I would not make you answer that question.
No.
I would not make. Now, you guys open up, is it tomorrow?
We play tomorrow.
Against Olympus.
Mhm.
Now, are they a 5A, 6A school?
I
Are
think
they 5A?
5A. I think you're right. Yeah.
Who sets up the preseason schedule, and does Warrior Nation, does Lady Warrior Volleyball, do they like a tough preseason schedule? Does Coach Thorkelson want to set some really tough games up?
She does both. So she's really smart with that. She sets these girls up to
Mhm.
be able to get some good practice so we can be ready for season.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and kind of your background in volleyball as well. How'd you get to this point of being a coach for Snow Canyon?
Okay, so I actually grew up in Orem, and I played volleyball at Timpanogos High School.
Which you play on August 24th.
Yes, which will be really fun.
Mhm.
I'm excited.
That's
It'll
kinda
be
cool, yeah.
awesome. Yeah, it'll be cool. And then I ended up playing here at Dixie State for 4 years as the setter.
Oh, wow.
So, and then I met Coach Thorkelson through club, and
You wanted to be
I ended up-
involved?
Yep.
Yeah.
So here I am.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, yeah, they open up with Olympus. They go to, and then they'll play Payson, Delta, Timpanogos, and then region starts August 29th. You'll be going to your favorite place to play for the lighting. You'll go to Crimson Cliffs, start off region play. Coach, what are the expectations for this team this year? Like, you've got 5 seniors here. Is this all of your seniors, or do you have some seniors that didn't come, or?
Nope, I think this is them.
So
They're all here.
So 5 seniors, that's
It's a
pretty
team.
good.
Yeah, we got a good bunch of girls, and
Mhm.
they're super competitive. The gym's been really competitive in practice, and we love it.
Talk to us a little bit about some of the players that we aren't talking with today. Obviously, we have these seniors. Who are some of the underclassmen that we need to look out for this year?
So we've got a couple freshmen coming up, which is going to be awesome. They're really good. They're super competitive. And then we've got a bunch of juniors, and they're all well-rounded volleyball players. So it's going to be fun. We're throwing them around in different positions and making them work. So it's been awesome.
Great.
Are we ready to go for the season? Everyone's fired
Ready.
up. Our practices getting to that point where everyone's just like, hey, we're tired of playing against each other. Let's go play against someone else. Everyone's just like, yeah.
They're all saying yes.
100%.
They better be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we want to wish you ladies good luck this year. Snow Canyon Warrior Volleyball is always one of the top teams in the region. Certainly look forward to seeing you guys on the court, whether it's at the Jungle or in the Thunderdome. I'll definitely see you guys there. Good luck.
Thank
Good luck.
you.
And we're going to take a break here. More coming up next. Hey,
it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show From the Bleachers live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Corns for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Welcome back in, everybody. It is From the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network. Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know. We just had the Lady Warriors in studio. I was looking at awards, volleyball awards from last year. Avery Thorkelson was for a honorable mention for her play as a junior last year. So keep your eye out for the Lady Warriors. I think they're going to have a really strong season. I definitely see them finishing top 3 in the region. I'm not quite sure. Maybe even 2.
I think they could, especially with all the returning.
Top 2 is what I meant.
With the returning seniors that they do have right now. And, you know, last year, you're looking at their schedule, they played the region really strong, really well. It was a tough region to play against, but you know what? They did do pretty well. I think coming back this year is just going to be the game changer. Just the fact that they have so many seniors that are really talented. Last year they were they were 500 in region play, 6 and 6.
Yeah.
So
I think they improve.
They'll take that step up.
I think they improve on that this year for sure. I mean, they did lose a couple of really good players, but I do think they improve on that this year. And I don't think they'll go 6 and 6, 500 for region play. You know, they've got some big hitters. Again, they're very well coached. Coach Thorkelson is one of the best volleyball coaches in the region. She has a great program over there at Snow Canyon. So I certainly think that they will definitely be better than 500. I'm thinking them as a top 2 or a top 3 team in the region.
I think so too.
There's some good teams in the region when you're talking Cedar, Desert Hills, Crimson, Snow Canyon. There are some really good teams in the region, and to have that just to be mentioned with those teams is I would say it's a feather in your cap for sure.
Absolutely.
Can't wait for volleyball to get going.
I can't wait either.
I mean, we love our football, but I love my volleyball too, dude. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really do.
Absolutely. It's always fun. Honestly, fall sports to me are some of my favorite of all time. Because, I mean, you know me. I was a cross-country runner.
Yeah.
So I always loved my cross-country, and I still love to follow cross-country. It's a difficult sport to follow because everything going on is happening, depending on where the cross-country meet is at. Most of the races usually happening away from fans' eyes. The fans are watching at most 2 minutes of one single person's race, right? Usually fans are just kind of sitting at the finish line.
Yeah.
It's a difficult fan sport. I get that. There's a reason why we maybe don't talk about running as much, is just because it's not like there's big plays like we see in other sports. It's more just kind of, okay, how did everyone finish? It's a race, right? How did everyone finish? But I still love it. It's one of my favorites. I love to go watch cross-country races. Volleyball, kind of the same. It's one of those that it's fast-paced, it's quick, it's athletic.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Not to mention, this is the year that we have men's volleyball coming in.
Yeah.
Or boys volleyball, I
Spring,
should say.
it's a spring sport.
Spring sport,
Yep.
boys volleyball. That's going to be around this year as well. So this isn't the only time we're talking volleyball. We got more volleyball ahead of us.
It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Like if I'm assuming each school will be able to field a team, but I mean, if you haven't been, cultivating that in your school, which no school
Nobody
has.
has.
I'm just wondering how that's going to play out. I mean, will there be a freshman team? Will there be a JV team and a varsity team? It'll be interesting to see how many of those young men go out for boys volleyball and how they field teams. And I'm sure it'll be different per school.
Yeah, every school's going to be different. And we have no gauge on this
gauge
at all. We don't know who's going to be good. We don't know who's going to be bad.
I mean,
it's going to be so interesting.
It will be very interesting for sure.
Would you have played volleyball if they had offered it when you were in school?
No.
Wasn't your thing?
No.
Dude,
especially if it being a spring sport.
Here's the thing. I think I would have, but
baseball
at the same time, I don't know. Spring sports, I had a hard time deciding between baseball and track.
So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I mean, does baseball lose a few players? Does track and field lose a few participants? Can you do volleyball and track? I don't know what the schedule's going to be. Track meets are when? On Fridays?
Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah, Fridays and Saturdays. And maybe boys volleyball will be
both
Tuesdays and Thursdays. Maybe you can.
Yeah. I mean, and then you also have, at least as far as boys go, you also have soccer to worry about.
Yeah,
too.
That's right. That's right. Well, soccer lose a few people.
Soccer, tennis. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of boys sports going on in the spring. You look at the girls, you have golf, track, softball, lacrosse, both teams set, lacrosse for both as far as the UHSAA sanctioned sports go. So spring sports will be interesting just because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
How are all these athletes going to choose which ones to do? I don't know. But as far as fall sports go, yeah, we do have cross country, boys golf, football, girls soccer and girls tennis, and then of course volleyball. So, we have a very small spread in the fall of sports. There's a lot less to choose from.
On average, Caden, what time do you eat dinner?
Because we do our show at 6 or ends at 6.
Yeah.
Usually like 7:30. It's pretty late. Late.
Well, you are beyond the average. Actually, you're in the average, but you're definitely towards the later part.
Yeah.
The average American eats dinner at 6:19, which means we got to get going. Okay. I got to get home, get some stuff made.
25 minutes.
Eat. 6:19. I will tell you let's see, where is it at here? The earliest dinner time, Pennsylvania. They start on average at 5:37, and followed by Maine at 5:40. There's 6 states that start on average at 6, which is Vermont, Wyoming, North Dakota, New Hampshire, Alaska, New Mexico. And the latest, 7:02 on average, Texas and Mississippi. I think I'm on average right around 6:20. Like, because I'd leave here, go home, about 6:20.
Because again, I have to drive all the way back to Enterprise because I live in Enterprise still. And
That's a choice. That's a choice, by the way.
It is a choice.
Okay.
And I'm fine with that choice.
I know you are.
But if I don't get home till 7, usually I don't leave here till about 6:10, 6:15 because I have to do other things, right? I have to wrap up work here. I'm not getting home till late. So thanks for joining us on the show. We'll be back again tomorrow. It's tomorrow's last day until game day.
Oh, my gosh.
We'll see you then.